So for the last 10 years, I've been running a Safari style top with a rear window and a tonneau cover on my CJ-7. And though this top setup has worked really well, it's not all that great in the rain. Obviously there's some pretty large gaps around the door here. I end up getting a little wet, and if someone's in the back seat, they get very wet. But I want to start staying a little bit more dry when I use the Jeep, and I want to be able to take my young son out in it. And this open style top really isn't the best for what I want to do going forward. So by the title of the video and the thumbnail, you already know we're going to put a new top on this. So let's jump right into it and take all this stuff off. So now that we have everything off the Jeep, let's take a look at what's going back on. So this is a Bestop Supertop for either CJ-7 or YJ. This one I found on Facebook Marketplace, and it's a very complete kit. So obviously it has the top itself, the frame, all of the channels for the tub, windshield channel, little windshield brackets, tinted windows, and it came with the carrying bag for the full top, and then the full upper and lower soft doors. So before we throw this up on the Jeep, there's a couple things we gotta do. We gotta mount these little pieces to the windshield that will hold part of the top, and then I gotta drill a couple holes in the tub, and then we'll be able to mount this top on. Alright, so we have the windshield brackets that we're gonna put in. Now on a YJ, they're drilled. You would just disconnect where the roll bar meets the windshield. On the CJ-7s, we gotta go through and drill this and bolt this directly to the windshield. So what we're gonna do is just hold it up in place and try and match this top and outer edge. Hold it in place, drill a couple holes, and screw it right in. So I got a couple more holes I need to drill in the tub. So the first hole I need to drill is one for this door surround piece. So this will mount right to the front here, and then the door surround will come up and around and mount to that windshield bracket we just put in. And then the second hole I need to drill is what will actually hold the bracket for the full arms of the top. So we'll get them marked and then drilled out. So the one last thing we need to do specific to the CJ-7 is measure from the windshield channel back to the rear of the tub. So on the YJs, the roll bar is tied into the windshield, so that's a fixed measurement. On the CJs, that windshield is somewhat freestanding, so it has some room to move within the bolts and the seal and everything. So we'll take a measurement. It's supposed to be 75 1/8 is what Bestop recommends. So we'll just measure from, we'll go right from just the top of the windshield channel and right down to this lip of the tub. And right now we're like 74 7/8. So we're about a 1/4 inch shy of where we should be, which would mean the windshield should need to stand up more. I'm a little surprised by that because last year we put additional seals in the windshield seal. And I know I had a tough time. I had to pull the windshield down to even get the bolts started. So I don't think there's much more room that windshield could stand up and the bolts could actually still work. But if I measure it, and I just happen to put the tape measure on top of the seat and measure here, now I'm at 75 1/8. So I think it's close enough if I just, factor in that I take a little bit going over the seat, and I guess we'll find out if it doesn't work and I need to stand the windshield up more. We'll see. So now that the frame is all in, we can go through, drape the top on. So we'll connect it into the windshield channel, and then it'll snap into this rear bow. Alright, so we have the top all on, and I was even able to get it tightened up to the first hole. Sometimes, or maybe with a new top, you may have some difficulties. You may need to let it sit out in the sun to relax enough to get this tight enough. But with it being a used top, I was able to get it at least to the first hole. Once it's in the sun, I might need to move it up to the second or third, but we'll see. So now we can go through and install the side windows. Alright, so now that the top is all on, the only thing left to do is to swap out these upper doors. Obviously, these aren't going to work, one, because they're a different color, and two, because this is a square design where the soft top will now use the rounded design. So the reason I was looking for a top that had the rounded doors, because I have a set of full doors that need that curve. So if I got a top with the squared off design and I put my full doors on, then the curve, there'd be a gap in that corner that I obviously wouldn't want. So I'm going to take the upper portion of this door and just put it onto my steel doors. Alright, so I guess fun fact, the upper portions of these full soft doors do not fit the lower portion of the steel door. They have the three sort of pins that would go into the door, but they're in different places on the door. So I'm not sure why the spacing is different, but obviously now these top pieces won't work on my steel doors. So it's either I run the full soft door, which I don't want to do. And so the reason I don't want to run the full soft door is the mirrors, all the mirrors I have mount to the door. I don't have the mirrors mounted to the windshield like the CJ would have come from with the factory. I have all the mounts, I have the mirrors. So the reason I'm not running those is because I don't really like how they look in that the brackets and arms and where the mirrors sit, it's not symmetric on each side. So that's why I just choose to run the mirrors on the door. But obviously this isn't going to work. I don't know if I could get a different frame but even where these cutouts are, I'm not sure if I can modify these upper doors to work with these lower doors. So I don't know, maybe you guys know, or maybe someone watching knows, why there's a difference between where these mount and why they didn't make them so that the uppers could work on steel lower doors as well. But so I guess for now I'll throw my full steel doors on and we'll wrap this up. So the top's all installed. Let's go clean the Jeep up and see it out in the sunlight.